China just cracked the code on something the United States has spent years trying to stop them from getting. Google's new AI model is demolishing benchmarks while somehow costing less money. And OpenAI just made a move that could kill traditional apps entirely. Let's break down what's happening in tech right now. Let's start with the biggest story, and it's a concerning one. China just built their own EUV chip machine. For years, the US has been blocking China from accessing advanced chip making technology. And for good reason. These cutting edge processors power everything from smartphones to AI systems to supercomputers. Back in 2019, the US put heavy sanctions on China. They couldn't buy the machines needed to manufacture advanced chips anymore. China's response? A massive state-funded project to copy Western technology. Recently, Chinese engineers were caught tampering with existing lithography machines, taking them apart, stealing trade secrets. This isn't innovation, this is industrial espionage. Now they claim they've built an EUV machine, that's extreme ultraviolet lithography, the most advanced chip tech in the world. Commercial production might start between 2028 and 2030. If they pull this off using stolen technology, it's a serious threat to US technological leadership. China could flood markets with cheap chips, built on decades of American innovation they simply copied. Here's the real concern. In 2 years, open source AI models will probably rival today's commercial ones. If China controls both the models and the hardware through stolen tech, that's a national security issue. The US leads because American companies like NVIDIA actually innovated, but if China successfully replicates this through espionage, they bypass decades of research. This is exactly why US sanctions exist and why American officials are fighting to protect technological leadership. Now, speaking of chips and AI hardware, let's talk about what's available right now. NVIDIA just announced the RTX Pro 5000. It's a 72GB Blackwell GPU designed specifically for AI researchers and developers. This isn't a gaming card. This is for running your own large language models locally. And 72GB is actually a sweet spot for a lot of powerful open source models. For example, China's Qwen 3 Coder model requires 32GB of system memory to run properly. With this GPU, you could run it smoothly and do serious AI development on your own machine without relying on cloud services. The catch? Good luck actually buying one. NVIDIA has a habit of announcing products that are nearly impossible to get. But when this does become available, it's going to enable a wave of local AI innovation. Developers won't need to pay for expensive cloud APIs anymore. They can run everything in-house. This connects directly to what we are seeing with Google and the future of apps. The app era might be ending faster than you think. Here's a simple question. What is an app? It's just an interface that solves one specific problem. You want to book a flight? You open an app. You want to order food? Different app. But what if AI can handle all of that through simple conversation? Google's betting everything on this future. They just integrated their coding tool, formerly called Opal, directly into Gemini. It used to be a separate product for building web apps. Now it's built right in. And they launched something called Disco. It's a browser that can take all your open tabs and automatically merge them into a working web application, just from what you're browsing. Think about the implications. Google already has APIs for everything. Flights, hotels, shopping, maps, everything. They don't need third-party apps. They can build one AI interface that does it all. You just tell it what you need and it handles the rest. No more switching between apps, no more filling out forms, just conversation. OpenAI sees this coming too. That's why they just opened up ChatGPT to developers for direct website integration. If you run a business, you can now plug your entire website into ChatGPT. Customers can browse products, place orders, and complete payments, all through voice commands. The AI can log into your website, access Stripe for payments, handle everything automatically. The old e-commerce experience? It's dying. No more shopping carts, no more checkout pages. Just tell the AI what you want and it's done. This isn't some distant future concept. The infrastructure is being built and deployed right now. Google just released their latest model to power this future, Gemini 3 Flash. And it's not just incrementally better, it's significantly faster than Gemini 2 Pro while also being cheaper to run. They also launched Gemini 2.5 Flash Lite, which is even more affordable. The pricing is aggressive for a reason. Google knows the real battle isn't happening on desktops or phones, it's happening in wearables, smart glasses, devices where you need fast, efficient, local AI processing without draining your battery or requiring constant internet connection. Google is building the AI that will power the post-smartphone world. They've also integrated Gemini 3 Flash into Google Search. If you use AI mode, your results are now faster and more contextual. Though honestly, most people still just click the first regular search result out of habit. This brings us to the hardware race. Google versus Meta. And it's getting intense. Google just open sourced their XR operating system. They're actively inviting Samsung and other manufacturers to build devices on top of it. The strategy is clear. When the next wave of wearable devices hits the market, Google wants developers already logged into their ecosystem. It's the Android playbook all over again. Meta is taking the opposite approach. They started with an open partnership model for their Horizon OS. They wanted other companies to build hardware using their platform, but they recently abandoned that entirely. Now they're going full Apple, everything in-house. They control the hardware, they control the software, complete vertical integration. There's just one problem. Meta's AI isn't as good as Google's Gemini, and in this new world, the AI is everything. The hardware is just a shell, it's the delivery mechanism. What matters is how smart, how fast, and how useful the AI actually is. Google has a massive unfair advantage here. They own search, they own YouTube, they own Android. They have the entire ecosystem already built. If you're already comfortable with Android, you'll probably trust an Android-powered pair of smart glasses way more than some new brand trying to build from scratch. Meta has early market share in VR headsets, but if their AI can't keep up with Google's, they're in serious trouble. Meta knows this. That's exactly why they're going all in on building their own models. They're developing their own image generation model, their own video model, and a completely new large language model. All three are expected to launch in the first half of next year. Right now, Meta AI actually uses Midjourney for image generation, which means if you're using Meta AI, you're basically getting free Midjourney access. That's a pretty good hack if you want high quality AI generated images without paying for a Midjourney subscription. But the real focus is on their video model, because the future of wearables isn't about generating pretty pictures, it's about real-time video understanding. Imagine wearing glasses with a camera that can analyze what you're seeing, identify objects, read text, understand context, all in real time. The company that perfects real-time video comprehension first wins the entire wearable race, and Meta knows it. Now here's something flying under the radar that's actually really important. Mistral just launched an OCR model, optical character recognition. It costs $2 per 1000 pages, $1 if you batch process, and it's beating every other OCR solution in benchmarks. But the real value isn't the cost or the benchmarks, it's what this technology unlocks. You can take old books that have no digital version and convert them to searchable text. You can train AI models on that previously inaccessible data. You can take decades worth of physical records, police files, legal documents, court case archives, historical records, and digitize all of it. Then you build a system where you can ask an AI a question and it searches through 100 years of records in seconds. Organizations can finally make their legacy data actually useful instead of having it rot in filing cabinets or old storage rooms. That's genuinely huge for institutions with long histories. Speaking of impressive AI capabilities, Luma just dropped a video transformation model that's kind of jaw-dropping. You upload a video of yourself and the AI can completely change it. Different clothes, different background, different lighting, it can place you in an entirely different scene. Stuff that used to require a full professional animation team. This isn't quite cinema grade quality yet, but it's getting very close. And more importantly, it's putting professional level tools in the hands of regular people. Tools that used to require expensive software licenses and years of training. That's what AI does at its core. It democratizes access to capabilities. The people who embrace it and use it effectively will win. The people who just complain about it will get left behind. Let's shift to cybersecurity for a minute, because there's both good news and bad news here. Google just sued a Chinese cybercrime group called Dracula. They've been running massive scam ad operations and stealing from people across the United States. Legal action is great, but it makes you wonder, if AI is as advanced as we keep saying it is, why isn't it stopping these scams at the platform level? Some phone carriers already do this. They automatically scan links in text messages and block suspicious ones. Why can't every phone do that by default? If a scam message comes through, the AI flags it. If enough people report a number, it gets automatically blacklisted across the network. This is completely possible with today's technology. Maybe there's regulatory red tape preventing it, but I'd bet within the next 18 months, we see major platforms roll out AI-powered scam detection that actually works at scale. The small-time scams are going away. SMS phishing, fake video calls, lottery scams, all that low-level stuff. The sophisticated attacks will continue. Corporate network breaches, zero-day exploits, state-sponsored hacking. That's not going anywhere. But the annoying everyday scams that target regular people, those days are numbered. The overall cybersecurity numbers are pretty scary though. 265 million cyber attacks were reported this year alone. 70% of those involved Trojan files being distributed. And get this, 16 billion login credentials leaked. Those are massive numbers. But there's actually good news on the security front. The defense systems are evolving faster than the attacks. Passwords by themselves aren't enough anymore. Now we have multi-device verification, biometric authentication, Face ID, fingerprint scanning. You get instant notifications when someone tries to log into your account from a new device. The entire login security architecture is getting better. It's not perfect, there are still vulnerabilities, but the trend is moving in the right direction. The bad guys have to work a lot harder now than they did 5 years ago. Here's an interesting development that could reshape app distribution. Apple just opened up the iPhone to third-party app stores in Japan. Developers there can now build and operate their own app marketplaces, completely separate from Apple's official app store. Apple still has to approve these alternative marketplaces, but this is a huge shift. The European Union has been fighting for this change for years. If Japan proves the model works without turning into a security nightmare, expect this to roll out globally. Apple's App Store monopoly is finally cracking, and honestly, it needed to happen. There are way too many legitimate apps that never make it onto the App Store because of Apple's restrictive policies and arbitrary enforcement. So here's where we are at. Traditional apps are dying. AI is fundamentally changing how we interact with software. China is building the chip manufacturing capability that could reshape global tech power dynamics. The next major computing platform, whether it's smart glasses or some other wearable, is being actively built right now by Google and Meta. What do you think happens next? Are we really just 2 years away from ditching traditional apps entirely? Will Google or Meta win the wearables war? And what happens when China starts mass producing advanced chips? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.